Across the river from downtown Cincinnati, in Covington, Kentucky's main Strauss, and from the beautiful Village Sight Sound and Stage, it's Fret Buzz. Featuring Mike Reeder. William Gilmore Weber. And the lovely Janelle Stevens as the barista. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Mike Reeder.
Welcome to Fret Buzz 14.
Woo! Yeah! Dude, holler!
Yeah. Got some fabulous guests I can't wait to hear today. I got Noah Hunt throwing his thing around.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Your battery.
Has to be done.
Got Brandon Gray.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Jimmy D.
Fabulous.
Davison.
Hi. How you doing?
You got many aliases, man.
Well, you know, there's many states.
Yes. And my good friend Scotty Bratcher.
I'm here.
Yeah. Episode 14. It's going to be a good show, fellas. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, man.
An all-dude show. And the lovely Janelle is back as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Glad you're back.
We miss you.
Yes, we did very much. Glad you're feeling better. So, going to play some great songs today. I brought some cool guitars out of my collection.
Sure did.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming, guys. Nice warm day up here in the studio. Hot coffee and hot
Gonna be
weather.
sweating the blues.
Yeah, man. So how y'all been doing? What have you been up to, Noah? I know you probably been at home mostly, right?
Yeah. We had a whole sold-out tour starting in Florida and working its way across the country.
You should go to Florida. I hear it's really nice.
Yeah, well, it's all canceled.
I think it's red.
I was supposed to be in Germany right now on a tour there, but we're not
That's
even allowed
safe.
to leave.
It is Main Strasse. You're in Main Strasse.
So I've been working on a solo project with a guy that's local, Ed O'Donnell. He's an Emmy award-winning composer.
All right.
We're doing
Teaching them.
We're doing a little solo project. Scotty and I have been playing together and
cool.
doing some shows. And in August, it's coming up. The Kenny Wayne Shepherd Band is scheduled to play at Sturgis.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's going to be our first show back. If they cross your fingers.
What date is that? I'm sorry.
The 10th of August.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah.
So that and
cool.
everything that we've had has been, postponed or moved.
back,
Yeah, most of it hasn't been canceled, but yeah, it's been kind of stressful. But I've never been home this long in a long time, and
Do you like it? I mean, you get things done. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I like being around my my daughter and my wife, and I've been seeing my mom and dad. And,
Well, that's good.
yeah. So I mean, I've been doing stuff like that, which is awesome. So
Got the clean laundry?
yeah, for the most part.
You walk down. Where's the deli tray?
I know. Sometimes I have to just make one.
Rolled sandwiches.
Well, at least we got you on the show. That's one good thing.
It's my pleasure to be here, man. Thank you.
And Brandon Gray, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I'm hanging in there.
Thanks for coming in, man. I've been enjoying watching your stuff on Facebook.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm honored to be here, man. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, the songs are sounding good. I know
Thank
Elton's
you.
been mixing your stuff.
Yeah, Elton's working with me. Yeah, I'm trying to get a little 3-song EP put together. We're actually, when we're done here today, we're going to shoot from here out to the studio and
cool.
lay down some drums and bass and
Right on.
try to get that thing buttoned up. And I feel like drums and bass are such a huge stepping stone in the recording process. Like, you get the foundation laid, and then it's like, all right, now we can now we can take a breath and start working on some guitar
Drums and
techniques.
bass are coming on later. I mean, how'd you originally start out?
I just did acoustic guitar, vocal, and a click track.
Oh, okay.
And lay that down, and then these guys will come in, the drummer and the bass player, and play to that. And
That's cool.
Who did the click track?
I'll give you credit.
Cell phone.
You've already got inside jokes.
These click track players are really rare.
It was produced by Pro Tools.
Which phone app?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Mr. Tools.
There's
did it.
numerous, So
So what have you been doing, William, the last month?
Pretty much not doing things I should be doing, put it that way. I've actually
got the COVID 20. I hate to say.
Oh
man.
yeah, you skipped one.
20 pounds. So,
You know, I decided to keep my beard, brother.
oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Let's keep going. Today might be the last day, though. It's going away.
It's kind of getting there.
You call
Yeah,
that
it
a
is.
beard?
I'm almost Scotty beard lost. Well,
Well, I had to
Jim's-
cut
Yeah.
mine. The city of Dayton made me cut mine. It's illegal to be any longer than this.
That's just for you.
Are you going to save it for the big gig? You guys got a big gig coming up together, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping to have more. I mean, it's 2007 we started playing together.
Yeah, it's been that
So
long.
it's we've been.
He was
doing
10.
I didn't realize. I thought Scotty Bachelor Band. You've always been the singer for.
this. No,
No.
so I did my thing up until 2007, and that was the only thing I ever did.
I see.
And then Noah was looking for. It was a funny thing. It was crazy because we have a mutual friend of ours that I ran into at a government mule show, and he's like, "Come upstairs and sit with us." And I didn't recognize him. I just thought, like, well, thanks, but I'm gonna be in the front row. And then the next day, that same guy called and said that Noah was looking for a guitar player and asked if I'd be interested in auditioning. So,
Cool.
for 2 or 3 days later, I think we did some blues standards, and we've been playing together.
Do you at least get
With
union
us.
wage?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he plays in side band, and I sometimes play with his band.
Okay.
And
Who's the bass player in that band?
All of them.
No, I mean in your band.
and a guy named Alex Hughes.
Okay.
And
I know Tony plays with Kenny Wayne, right?
Tony Franklin. He
Yeah.
used to. Yeah. He now we have Kevin McCormick is back.
Oh,
with
okay,
us.
right on.
Yeah. So Tony left a few years ago. We're still great friends and everything.
Yeah.
But McCormick is back.
I'm a bass player. So
looking for a
I'm
gig?
fan.
Yes, he can-
Jimmy, you getting ready to move away, aren't you, buddy?
I'm leaving Cincinnati. I've decided that they'll never get 75 finished. And,
yeah.
so I'm taking this opportunity.
Had enough.
I've had enough.
Yeah.
I've seen my last orange barrel. I'm going to Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, Boston, right? That'll be a lot
Yeah.
better.
They have blue barrels there.
Yeah.
So they're
Not a big
you know,
college town.
they use a different shade of orange on their barrels.
You know, you're leaving a college town and going.
So in order to celebrate though, this coming Saturday, shameless plug. Okay.
Yeah.
This coming Saturday is my farewell
Actually, it's going to be
party
later.
gig. We're playing at Southgate House
Yeah.
and
Kissing cousins or
Cousin Kissers.
Oh, okay.
It's different.
Oh, you guys face back. You guys face backwards. Like,
now,
It's progressive.
now, unfortunately, with the COVID thing, we are not providing cousins for kissing. So you got to bring your own. And
Well, you're in Kentucky.
That's Kentucky, isn't it?
Easy to.
So
you could rent one too if you don't have one.
and then we're going to have a special guest in the 9 o'clock hour. The Libertines, Milo
yeah.
band from the '90s, is going to take the stage and
Well, now I'll be there then.
be have another farewell gig.
That's awesome, man.
We're almost like the Who. We've almost caught up with them.
Started in 1980.
Libertines are like one of my favorite bands
Yeah,
of all time, man. From
Yeah.
the 60s? Is it?
I feel like it's been that long. No, it's
Libertines USA.
well,
Did the other band break
that
up?
other band broke up. They're gone. The heck with
Okay.
them. They're half dead and half in jail, and we're
In
just-
English.
Yeah, in English. Yeah. So we're those cease and desist letters, they didn't translate to British very well.
The Queens.
Well, I'm glad everybody's working again, man. It's good to be
Starting.
back at it. I know. I had one gig so far, like last week. But have you done anything since COVID?
Getting ready to, man.
Yeah.
We've kind of I didn't do anything, but the city of Hamilton really worked out a cool deal with the state, and we've got a show coming up that they've sold, and I think it's 30 tickets shy of sold out, but they're putting 1,000 people.
The River's Edge.
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do it's the first time they've had to sell tickets because of everything going on. They have to
Right.
find out how many people are going to be
Right.
there so they can make it legal.
So it's like,
basically.
Mount Rushmore.
But
kind of thing.
but it's really, really cool, man. It's going to be, obviously the biggest show that I've done this year. The only show I've done this year. So 3 people could show up and be the biggest show that I've done this year.
I think like once things are kind of really over, I mean, 'cause clubs are really going to be starving.
Yeah, if they
you know,
survive.
and like, you know, really looking.
I think somebody has to forefront it. Somebody has to go out and say, we're going to put on a rock and roll show.
Yeah.
And so I've got to give it to the city of Hamilton and Adam Helms for really doing a great job making it happen, finding a way to make it happen. Last year, we were there. The last 3 years we've been there, we've had close to 6,000 people at our show. So it's kind of a bummer to have to cut that, but at the same time, it totally counteracts the bummer with the fact that we're still putting on a 1,000-seat show.
Are they doing like little sections of family kind of deals?
It's socially distant.
And yeah, that's cool.
Isn't like the whole population of Hamilton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's a fan of Scotty, man. The whole
They don't want to cross the river though, like the other half, right? Okay. Gobbler's Knob or whatever.
But no, it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about it. I mean, you know, we've been in rehearsals. Noah and I've been in rehearsals for the last couple of weeks, getting this thing together, and you know, it's just great having 4 Marshall stacks cranked on 10 again.
That's awesome.
You know,
Playing outside.
You guys did that at Miller's, right?
That's great for him.
This morning I said, I think I'm going to bring that other. I think I'm using 2 amps. And he said, oh, yeah.
You guys do inner ears, or how do you
Oh,
say
yeah.
it?
he and I do.
Yeah.
I haven't convinced the rest of the band, which is cool because it's less. I usually run our ears, so it's a lot easier for me to just go. If
You just
I've
put
got-
vocals in there mainly?
No, I've got.
I do.
I actually run. I run overheads in mine. I don't really
Okay,
dig
yeah, that's
close
fine.
mic drums and headphones at all. But I do overheads to catch all the drums. So it's kick, snare, hat, overheads. 17 guitar tracks.
I usually do audience, so I know they're alive.
That's the Christian way. And then, just bass vocals after that. But I just like to hear what, even with side fills, I've always told monitor guys, run the side fills like it's front of house. I want to feel like I'm out there watching what's going on.
Yeah, that's what I do. I've been using in-ear since 1992. But,
Yeah.
I have the
They had
wedges.
ears back then?
Yeah, they did. Believe it or not. But, I have the wedges and the side fills going because any
Yeah.
band I'm in is pretty loud.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, for a singer, I completely get it. You
Yeah.
know? Instrumentally, I'm like you. I like it coming at me.
Yeah, well, I run with one out too. So I'm still hearing my amps and the real drums.
I got you.
so he's damaging his brain and his hearing.
But only one side of his brain.
I need,
Yeah,
I need help.
he's got 2.
Put it in his forehead.
Fellas, man, I can't wait to hear you guys. It's going to be a great show. Thanks for coming.
A monkey has a tail and apes don't have tails.
I'm on the wrong side of the glass.
Yes, October
Halloween.
25th, my birthday. So.
Yes.
Like a birthday suit? No.
That would be a show right there.
Does your heart still pound?
I'm so glad you made it.
I did. It's early, but I.
Stand still!
I think you have the most in-tune instrument, weirdly enough. So.
And to me, this is just like a deco masterpiece, made in the 30s. Just the top of the line of handcrafted guitars.
California!
Yeah, isn't it awesome? That's the name of it. Early style, thin neck for sure.
Is that a straw?
It's a cigarette holder. Here we are, Sunny's San Rafael.
Back on the show!
Ooh-wee!
Woo! Yeah!
About time. It was like an hour and a half.
Well, we're glad to be back. This is going to be a real pleasure, man, hearing you play, Noah.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I just wrote this song On a more serious note, my wife had a lot of health problems. She was in the hospital for about 3 months, starting October last year. A misdiagnosed kidney infection. 5 surgeries and
3 months of kidney infection.
Yeah, a lot of complications occurred, and so I wrote this song kind of like about going through darkness and
what a nightmare.
Trying to hold on to love.
Jeez. Man.
Yeah. Luckily, this story thus far has a happy ending.
I was yeah.
She's doing a lot better.
Happy ending for her.
Yeah.
So is it going to be on a record or?
It'll probably be on my solo thing.
Okay.
Coming up. Yeah.
Love the exclusive.
Did you call that band Noah?
That'll be Noah Hunt, I guess.
Yeah. That's cool.
So you know, it's brand new. So if I mess it up, no one will know.
When you record on that band, do you do most of the parts, or you have like Scotty come over and do stuff? Or?
Yeah, I'll do the basics first. I'll do bass and drums and scratch vocals first.
Click?
Yeah, usually. It's the iPhone version.
Android doesn't have that.
Yeah, I know. So you got.
No, but we have a dB meter. So you can tell how loud the click is.
You have a studio in your house?
Yeah, I use Ed O'Donnell has a nice one over in Hyde Park that I've been using too. So
right on.
Yeah, I'm kind of technically challenged, so.
Yeah. Do you have like a bunch of stuff in the can waiting to put out, or?
Yeah, I've been pretty productive in my off time, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
There's that.
Yeah, I mean,
a benefit.
I don't feel so useless.
Right.
You know, so, burn it down.
Playing this fool's game, I'm playing it well. Back out in the alley with fresh souls to sell. Not your savior, I'm just some broken man, clearing out the wreckage, looking for a place to stand. The world, it keeps on turning. It's not as fast as we want it to. Tears in my eyes burning, but when I see your face, I'd still burn it all down for you. Through this nightmare, endless tunnel of pain, in the depths of madness, baby, call out my name. Lost faith in darkness, a loaded gun in my hand. Hold on to love, reach out and understand. The world, it keeps on turning, just not as fast as we want it to. Tears in my eyes burning, but when I see your face, I'd still burn it all down for you. I know you wanted to give up and end your pain. One heart needs the other to be safe and whole and sane. Lost faith in darkness, a loaded gun in our hand. Hold on to love, babe, reach out and understand. The world, it keeps on turning, just not as fast as we want it to. Tears in my eyes burning, but when I see your face, I'd still burn it all down for you. So hold on to love, hold on to love.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hate to like
Great song.
try to guess somebody's influences, because they're their own thing. Jackson Brown?
Oh, I love Jackson Brown. Yeah.
Because that had a little bit of flavor, I thought.
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah.
I loved his voice. I grew up listening to him, and a lot of classic rock.
Yeah.
Great singers like that. Paul Rogers. And
Yeah, I hear
Jackson
big
Brown.
Paul Rogers.
Yeah.
Influence. Always have, man. I go way back with you. We played jamming on Maine. You played a band, Six Uncle or something?
Uncle Six.
Uncle Six. I was close.
Yeah.
You can leave it on the ground, man. It's cool.
Because it's going to be there anytime.
Yeah, that's like, that was pretty close. You were young back then.
95, 96.
Yeah. Was that your first band or close to it?
Yeah, it was one of my first bands.
Wow. That was a great band. You
Yeah,
guys
that
were
was
awesome.
good. We, I got signed to RCA back then, like a spec deal.
Yeah.
It was kind of not going anywhere, and then Kenny called.
Ah, okay.
And I had
so you
his
already
first-
had a label when Kenny called you?
Yeah, but our
For
A&R
your
guys,
first band? That's awesome.
our A&R guys knew each other. And,
I see.
I said, I went down there to Louisiana one night and got rehearsed and tried out or whatever. And we, hit it off.
Yeah.
So our A&R guys knew each other, and they said,
That's cool.
I said, I want to do this, and they said, yeah, okay.
It's weird.
They let me go.
Back then, his dad Ken and Kenny used to come to my store all the time.
Oh yeah.
Not anymore, but they used to. I used to see them quite a bit back
Yeah.
then. So that's interesting. I didn't really know that you went that far back with Kenny.
Yeah.
I thought that band did pretty. You guys had albums out and stuff, right?
Yeah. We had one. I made an EP for RCA that came out.
I gotcha. That's cool. I remember
Made a
that
little
show.
song.
That was a good show. You
Yeah.
guys packed the place down there.
Did they have the dog barking into the gramophone or whatever?
It was like Allman Brothers or like Grateful Dead influence kind of stuff.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Almond's Dead. kinda.
Killer
Saw you at
stuff.
Stanley's.
Stanley's and I
Yeah,
did an
man.
acoustic thing. That's how I paid the bills back in the
Yeah,
day.
this is great shit.
Play at Stanley's 3 nights a week with my other friend Jason Denny, who was just a
Yeah.
monster picker.
But now it's awesome to see you've went so far, man. I saw you guys. I'm friends with Eric Johnson. He always gets me in the Jimi Hendrix show.
Yeah.
I saw you guys backstage there, and
Yeah. Eric's great.
What's it like to play with some of your heroes? I'm sure you're because you had Stevie Ray Vaughan's drummer.
Yeah, we still do. Yeah, he's still with us. Chris Layton.
Chris Layton.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
to play with guys that influenced me and I grew up listening to. I mean, I pinch myself. I still am so.
You've probably
grateful.
met everybody right now.
Yeah,
You've been around
man.
the world, man, a few times, right?
Yeah, but that's one of the most satisfying things. So gaining respect of people.
Did you guys
that
do
I
a
look
tour
up
with Dylan too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, he did.
Was he electric at that time?
I'm not that old, man. Yeah.
I saw you guys played with Joe Walsh at Tampa Theater.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was a killer show, man. It was unbelievable.
Joe's very cool.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. He's a very
Watermelon.
We're not going there. We're not going there.
All right.
That Hendrix tour thing is super fun.
It's cool,
You get to
yeah.
hang out. Thanks, Eric, for letting me go to that. But
It's like summer camp. for all of us, so we love it.
It's
Yeah.
so cool, man.
And Eric's great. He's
Yeah.
just-
I mean, everybody backstage are hanging out with
Yeah, everybody
you
just
could think
kinda-
of.
One thing I have to ask you about your career: where'd you get your shoes, man? Those are awesome.
my wife's European.
Those are awesome.
It's somewhere over there.
So yeah, man. What's the writing process with Kenny? Do you come in with stuff, or is he always?
Yeah, I mean, I usually come in with stuff. He writes with people in Nashville.
Uh huh.
And sometimes I get in on those things, but I like to work alone more.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
So you
Just
kind of
one.
walk in.
Yeah, I mean, I usually come up with some stuff, and then he and I work it out on our own.
So you were probably on that first album, right?
He had made an album,
Yeah.
Ledbetter Heights,
Okay.
which had already gone gold. And
Also, you had already you knew about it.
yeah. So like, I said, I think I want to get in on this.
I kind of just figured your families knew each other. You grew up together or something.
Yes, people think that, but
Yeah.
it
That's
seems
cool.
that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so our first album together was Trouble Is, and that was probably our biggest record. Yeah.
So they were probably listening around, and somebody said, "Hey, man."
We met through a mutual friend named Bill Williams.
Okay.
Remember him, Scotty?
He'll probably be at the show we're doing together.
He was like a record guy, right?
He was a photographer.
Yeah.
He took some great pictures.
Oh yeah, he gave me some pictures of
Yep.
Stevie Ray.
Like last call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how he hooked us up. So
Incredible
Bill.
photographer.
Yeah,
He's got great
great.
like Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff.
I'm gonna
right?
write these names down just because I want to get in that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he's got a book.
Yeah,
And,
That thick
Great
and
stuff.
and
wrong numbers.
Well, it's crazy how things like that happen, man. You know what I mean?
You never know. You just, if you want to do it, you just got to try to stay prepared. And,
Put your foot in the door.
yeah,
So RCA was kind of just
I should
trying
have
to
signed
get
with
you an
them.
identity, kind of. You know what I mean? Just kind of.
Yeah, they were trying to cultivate me in some direction
Yeah.
that I wasn't sure what was going on.
Right.
You had makeup and like hair and design.
That's cool.
Not yet.
That's awesome.
I probably needed it. But I probably would have gone farther.
Well, it's great to hear you play guitar too.
Thank
Oh
you.
man, that was
that's
a
a
great
cool
song.
guitar.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
great. Thanks
What
for
is
letting me
that?
play it.
Yeah, that's a
Silver.
64
It's got the star
F20.
we were talking about.
Yeah, I just got that guitar. I'd actually brought all electrics, and you said, I just wrote a song acoustic. Can I do acoustic?
Yeah.
And it was downstairs. So I was like, hey, let's go get that little Guild, because we never had a Guild guitar
I
in the
thought it
show.
was Guiled. I'm sorry.
And I bought it from a guy down in southern Kentucky, and I think it's a one-owner guitar.
Yeah,
and
it's well played.
I started doing some research, and I was like, wow, that star is either someone's added it or someone ordered it. And, it's sort of a strange color. I mean, you see other cherry ones, but not that cherry sunburst. You don't see that
like it.
often.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
mahogany.
Yeah.
It's got a great big sound for a little guitar. Though.
It does. I'm usually
Maurice
playing on a
Martin
dreadnought, and
plays.
Yeah, Maurice, I think his is a mahogany
His,
top
his
one.
is all mahogany,
Yeah.
and it's one of the best recording acoustic guitars I've ever heard.
Yeah, I
Now,
mean, it
is that
sounded
parlor? Would you consider that?
Parlor.
Well, it's a
That
little
would be
bigger.
considered concert
like
standard.
concert size, yeah. But it's amazing. I mean, it's a great like porch guitar, sitting around writing
Yeah.
songs because it's so light, right? It's like
yeah,
a
it
feather,
is.
man.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Is that in New York?
Oh yeah, probably yeah. I love little Guilds, 'cause, they're sort of underrated guitars. You know what I mean? They never really had their day. I mean, I can't even think of a famous person that played a Guild
Hank
flat top.
Williams Jr. Who
Stevie Ray Vaughan had a 12-string.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Well,
F-
12 strings.
The
are the exception.
F4, it was like a
Yeah.
J200, but it was a 12-string.
Yeah. The 12 strings are fairly popular. Though.
Yeah.
Are they still independent, or are they owned by somebody else?
I think Fender owns.
Well,
it.
Fender,
Fender
yeah,
has owned them for
did it.
20
I
years.
thought
Yeah.
Fender bought 'em, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because I had a Guild deal back in the day when they first Fender first bought them.
Oh,
They
really?
sent, I was like a Guild artist.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's
How,
cool.
how many bluesbirds you got under your bed?
Not enough.
Waiting for them to get popular.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to the show coming up. It'll already have happened by the time this airs.
Yeah.
So that was a great show, wasn't it?
I got that
Rock,
T-shirt,
yeah.
that black count. Yeah. What date is it? It's August
The Sturgis show, is August 10th.
10th.
What-
That is going to be a trip, man.
but the Hamilton show's the one we're interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that
Nice,
was
right?
that was the
That
9th.
was July 9th. Yes.
Oh yeah, and that was a great show. I really like how you guys like did
How we
that
did
Chuck
that
Berry
thing.
thing when you
Thursday
came
night.
out.
Pyro, the drummer, never shot a drummer before.
Well, that was unfortunate. But
All you need is one bullet.
Well, I got a Bolero of them. I've actually got a guitar strap full of live ammunition.
that's true.
It is true.
Yeah, and when you shot those flames out the end of your guitar, man, it was fabulous.
It's hard to fly with.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Back on.
Woo! Next.
Nah.
Oh man. So how you doing, Brandon? You ready to rock us?
Sure, man. Yeah, I'm doing great. Like I said, I'm just honored to be here, man. And
yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well,
I don't know how I got here.
Yeah, I was listening to some of the stuff that you were doing with Elton, and I was like, man, he's great. Let's get him on the show.
Appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Yeah.
I appreciate it, and thanks for coming.
Sure. No,
Can't wait to hear the
glad to
record,
be here.
actually.
Yeah, I hope I'm hoping here in the next by the middle of August we'll have it buttoned up and ready to go.
You gonna have a big CD release show?
Probably not.
Is it CD or do you do like kids and like put it online?
Well, I haven't really thought that far ahead yet. I know I'm going to do the Bandcamp thing. That's easy and cheap and accessible to everybody, and we'll see about maybe printing some discs. I would love to if I could scrounge up some cash to do some vinyl, but vinyl's expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm only doing 3 tunes. It seems Elton and I talked a lot about. Doing an EP or doing a full length and this, that, and the other. And to me, it just seems like full lengths are kind of almost a thing of the past now.
Yeah.
Somebody wants something new every other day. And
unless you do like 3 on one side, just the other side's blank.
Right, the other side's blank, yeah.
You gonna do any videos?
I would love to do a video. Actually, the song I'm going to do, I'd like to do a video for that. And then I have another tune that I'm doing on this EP called Tears and Whiskey that I think would be cool to have a video for. But
well, anybody who wants to do a video, we do them here. So.
Yeah, no, I've trust
we
me.
love doing this. Yeah.
That thought has gone through my process for sure. So
cool, man.
I was watching episode 13 yesterday. My good friends Kentucky Mile are on that show, and one of the commercials showed was the advertisement for videos, and I was like, oh man, yeah, that'd be a killer spot.
Yeah, we've done some good ones here. We just did Johnny Fink. We did a whole show with Johnny.
Yeah.
Down on the big show. Yeah, we've done a bunch of them, and it's enjoying doing them, man. Actually, I love working with artists, and
that whole process, I don't even know where to start. I'd have to somebody that knows what they're actually doing.
Well, you need a suit.
Yeah, well.
There's nothing wrong with just doing a live performance video.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like a lot of the collaboration videos too, where you see some studio footage and live footage.
Right,
and,
I like that stuff
put
too.
it all together and all that.
Yeah.
So.
It's a shame that art has kind of left us, man. I remember the 80s and MTV when you'd see all those behind the scenes videos and stuff.
Yeah. Like in 1997, I remember our first video was cost like $200,000. I had a stunt double. And,
Was it like you guys were on the skateboards rolling down the hills? Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We did 2 of them that were expensive.
Now we do it just on a sound stage.
Oh yeah.
We did 2 of them that were expensive, and the one that made it on MTV was free. And the 2 guys that did the other ones were like,
That's funny.
You never know and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I love just the performance videos personally.
Absolutely.
There's a storytelling stuff. Kind of, it's a fine line between cheesy and complimenting the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least that's my opinion.
That's what was always so cool about ZZ Top videos. Without music, they made no sense whatsoever, but they were still the coolest thing ever. They had cars, guitars, and women, and it was like, who on MTV didn't want to watch? MTV for that reason. That's why it existed.
They actually sort of made themselves kind of like superheroes appear or something. It was a great idea. That's cool. So there you go, man. There's a theme for you. You could just appear
Cars,
with
guitars, and women.
There you go. It works.
Mike's got a couple old ones.
A couple old cars.
That's it. That's funny.
So now that we ruined any decent intro.
That's all right.
What is the song about? Are you gonna do your song?
Here's a song about.
This song's about cars, guitars, and women. What are the chances? No.
And 4 reelies.
4 reelies. No, this song's called "Say Why," and my day job, I'm a fireman full time. That's what I do, and
one of our heroes.
So I come across a lot of tragedy, unfortunately, and. I was going through a whole different bag of emotions. I had gone through this incredible tragedy at work, and at the same time, I had begun the adoption process of my daughter.
Wow.
And so I had, at work, I had one set of things going on, and then at home, I had the complete polar opposite thing going on. And Songwriting
stress.
for me is the way that I deal with it. Everybody deals with it in different ways, but songwriting for me is getting it down on paper and then, finding
It's like catharsis.
right. It helps me process
out.
everything and work out through and work through it and all that. And so this song kind of comes from that. I was in a weird place. I was in a really dark place and trying to figure out, God, what the heck is going on? And then at the same time, realizing that, man, I've got a whole new love getting ready to come into my life. And I need to guide myself forward off of that and try to stay away from these darker things that I'm battling with.
Do you find
and
getting it
focus on-
out is a relief in a way?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For me it is.
Yeah.
I can't say that for everybody, but for me, just getting it on paper and then being able to take the emotion of singing
That's
it
how you deal
and let it go through that is so helpful for me.
I think now especially, man, because it's COVID time, everybody's so sensitive. And people are afraid to talk or even give opinions. And
Not me.
It's well, he always talks, but you know what I mean. It's
Sure.
it's a way to express yourself and maybe.
Well, I think it's important for everybody to have somebody that they feel like they could always go to and say, "Hey, man, you got 10 minutes and a cup of coffee
leaving to
here."
Boston.
Yeah.
Just to get some things off your chest and maybe somebody give you a bit of advice and help you stay the course or find your way back to the course and keep moving.
Right on, man. I look forward to hearing the song.
Somebody to bounce off of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's called Say Why.
Well, you said my sins are covered, but I'm struggling to believe. When I see all the bad things that keep happening to me, the last few years have been full of heartbreak and tragedy. And now I'm wondering what happened to love. Well, I don't think that I'm dying, but I sure don't feel alive. And I sure could use a new heart deep inside. Well, I'm broken down and beaten in the dark parts of my mind, and I could use the light of love to be my guide. Well, I can't seem to handle any more weight on my back. The wheels have fallen off, and the train has jumped this track. Well, I survived the crash without a single scratch, and I can't for the life of me say why. Well, I don't think that I'm dying, but I sure don't feel alive. And I sure could use a new heart deep inside. Well, I'm broken down and beaten in the dark parts of my mind, and I could use the light of love to be my guide. Well, I don't think that I'm dying, but I sure don't feel alive. And I sure could use a new heart deep inside. Well, I'm broken down and beaten in the dark parts of my mind, and I could use the light of love to be my guide. Yes, I could use the light of love to be my guide.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Really good.
Awesome.
Really good.
Thank you.
I don't think
Thanks,
the song
man.
needed explanation, but the explanation really.
Yeah, it ties
brought
it together.
out
Really
more.
good.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
glad you,
Thank
shared
you
with
very
us.
much,
Did the adoption thing go well?
It did, yeah. So the end of 2017 was when everything kind of happened, and we applied for adoption. A little girl from China, and right at the beginning of November, at Thanksgiving, we announced it to the family. Hey, we're going to adopt. We got approved, and then almost a year to the day, in 2018, we flew to China and met our daughter.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
cool. Her name's Elena, and she's just killing it, man. She's
Cool.
She's doing
That's
great.
amazing.
Well, we got to
it's
get a
awesome.
picture of her.
Yeah, we can do it.
How old is she?
She's gonna be 7 here on the 15th.
Wow. So
Wow.
It's crazy though, man. You look at her and you're like, that kid ain't 7. She's tiny. She's literally like 38 inches tall and about 36 pounds. So she's got some stuff going on. 19 was full of some surgeries and stuff like that, getting things straightened out and all that. And,
At least she's over here. We'll get great medical.
man, everybody. It's funny. Everybody that comes up and they're like, "Wow, how long have you had her?" And well, it's been about a year and a half. And they're like, "Man, it seems like she's been with you guys forever."
Oh, that's great.
And it's like, yeah, she's jumped right in, and she's a happy kid, which makes me and my wife feel great, right? We're like, all right,
Yeah.
well, we're doing something right at least, Like,
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's
great.
cool.
so yeah.
What did you think about that Les Paul?
This guitar, man, shoo-wee, I'll just put it in my truck if you. Like,
Wait, it's got to
I mean, if you're gonna play a Les Paul, right? Number one for me, it has to be a gold top.
Yeah.
I love gold tops. The Bigsby just sets it off as well. You
Yeah.
said this was a 56.
It's a
correct?
56. Honestly, I brought it here by accident. I was planning on bringing a different
Meant to
guitar, and
be.
I'd switch cases or something. So, yeah, I appreciate you playing it. I assume you probably thought we were doing acoustic or something.
Well, it doesn't matter. This tune is gonna have a lot of electric stuff on it. For
Oh,
sure.
Translated
Right on.
great, but
Yeah.
It's gonna be. And if I were to do it live at the band, I would probably do it on electric. I probably wouldn't do it on acoustic.
Right on.
So.
Well, that guitar is kind of special because it is a factory Bigsby guitar. In 56 they go to stop tail pieces, which would have been where the Bigsby is.
Yeah.
And often when they have Bigsbys, they'll also have the holes, but this one doesn't. So there's no question.
Oh, really?
It's always been a Bigsby guitar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a small time period where they have the tunematic bridges and the stop tails. Late 55 into early 57, they have the P90s and the stop tails, and then after that, they go to humbuckers. So that's sort of a small time period,
Yeah.
I went through a weird time where I was trying to get all the weird versions of Les Pauls,
Yeah.
and that was a hard one to find.
Yeah.
And it's super clean. There's not much to say.
Oh
It's
man,
like-
it sounds incredible. Plays great. Action's fantastic. Like,
and I like Bigsby's on guitars.
I do too.
What about you, Scott? You like Bigsby's?
I love them. I've got a gold top that's got it's got a P94 in the middle, but it's all gold, front, back, neck, everything on it's
Oh,
gold.
really?
But yeah, so it's good. It's a 3 pickup standard. It's not vintage. It's nothing. It's weird because it's a one-off. But I had gone to Gibson and did the whole tour thing, and they're like, okay, so if you could have any guitar built, and I really fell in love with the Jimmy Page custom with the 3 pickups and stuff and the gear
Right.
shift for the toggle.
Yeah.
I wasn't into all that. But I thought, I want to build a guitar they could have built in 57, but never did. So it was an all gold standard
Oh,
with
cool.
3 pickups.
I think I've
said,
seen that
yeah,
guitar.
you probably saw
Yeah,
it.
you've had an all gold.
I have many all gold
Yeah.
standards, but that's pretty neat, man.
Yeah, it's different. So to answer your question a long way, yeah, I'm a Bigsby fan. I've got a couple Les Pauls with Bigsby's on. I don't ever use them, but they just look so cool.
I know you
It's
borrowed
like
a
a
Lonnie
little
Mac V from me. I guess that was for Lonnie Mac's show.
Yeah,
With
but
the Bigsby in it.
I'd still used it. I mean, for that, that's one of the coolest.
I think the
guitars.
Bigsby paired with the look of the P90s
Yeah.
is something that's always fantastic.
Yeah, that's a rare combo.
Like-
With a Tunematic and the P90s and the Bigsby.
I've got a black
pretty
one
rare.
that I had gold P90 covers put on. So it's a black Les Paul. It's not super vintage. It's old, but
Yeah.
I had a gold Bigsby and gold P90 covers put on it just to be. It's rock and roll.
I think Elton Clifton.
You're a different kind of like.
Elton Clifton
Very,
taught me to
very.
fall in
That's
love
my
with
wife.
P90s.
Yeah,
That
I
guy
love
loves some
P90s.
P90s,
The old school guys before the PAFs became so popular were all about the P90s, and actually they're really louder.
Freddie
pickups.
King was a P90.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
P90s a rock and roll pickup.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But it sounded great, man.
Thank you.
Great song.
Thank
too.
you.
Is there anything you want to share or?
No, man. I just got this EP coming out. If the old World Wide Web, check out Brandon Gray and the Outlaw Skies, the Facebook page, Instagram, all that stuff.
Outlaw Skies.
Brandon Gray and the Outlaw Skies. Yeah.
Oh, awesome, man.
Yeah, I may lose the Brandon Gray. I can't decide. I may
Soon
just
to
go
be
by
the four
Outlaw
reallys?
Skies. Yeah, could change to the Elton Clifton four reallys. So.
Well, look, man, we were super.
That was
We'll look for it for sure. Thank you very
so
much.
Thank you.
Get cash today for your vintage instrument. Mike's Music is always seeking to buy fine vintage instruments. Mike's Music, 2615 Vine Street in Clifton, is one of the world's premier vintage instrument dealers. We service collectors and professional musicians worldwide. We also repair and restore instruments. Get top dollar for your vintage instrument today. Call Mike's Music now, 513-281-4900.
Yeah! Yeah. Jimmy D!
Jimmy D.
In the house.
Fabulous, famous, infamous.
I'll go with all three of those.
On the way here, I was realizing this may be close to the last time I see you play live. Except for
unless you show up Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday will be my last performance in the Cincinnati area.
So you're giving it? Oh, I thought you were going to give it up.
Until I come back, as a conquering hero.
Yeah.
Once
We'll kill the fatted calf.
Well, we might hear you on the radio, though.
Yeah. Well, that's every now and then that happens. Although I haven't gotten a BMI check in a while.
Yeah.
How you guys doing with that?
So you got
one?
You got such a history in this.
They sent me a bill.
Direct deposit.
Such a history in this town of starting.
One of the biggest disappointments of my life was when ASCAP downgraded me from member to associate, which meant that I wasn't making enough to cover my dues. And so no checks for you unless you make the $10 to
Let's go door to door take.
You're in the negative $9.
It's like, well, you didn't make enough to cover your dues, so we're not going to give you any money at all. And and after a while, they stopped mailing you the statement that tells you that because it cost them 39 cents a stamp or something.
Email is too expensive too, right?
Yeah.
So, do you have any plans when you get to Boston, like music-wise?
Buy a house.
Well,
that's a good start.
I know a bass player, and I know a drummer who has contacted me, having heard that I'm coming, but he lives in Maine, so it's going to be a bit of a commute for him. Because I ain't driving.
He could fly in.
Yeah, he can fly. But he's like, yeah.
Because all the drummers have all the money.
Right.
And women.
Something. They got something. So.
Except time, because we got to have click tracks.
Right. So these are people you've played with before, or what?
People I know. Well, the bass player I've played with like one gig, and the drummer was pretty famous around here, and then moved away.
I see.
And then, but I figure, somebody pointed out, he goes, well, it should be easy for you to find musicians. Berkeley spits them out every day.
Literally.
And I'm like, well, I'm old enough to be their grandfathers at this point. I am an old man now, so I got to find old guys to play with so that I don't.
At least get them to carry your equipment.
Speaking of that, I think you sold me my first bass.
I'm not taking the blame for your life choices.
Yeah.
The fact that your life turned out this way, I have nothing.
You're in denial.
And Ralph's, seriously.
Yeah.
That's where I first met him.
Yeah. No,
it was actually probably my first good bass.
No, but was it Ralph's in Western Hills or?
I don't know. My mom drove me there. I just remember going there and getting some sort of like copy jazz bass, and I'm pretty sure it was you, brother.
Well,
of course, you looked different back then, so.
You're starting to grow your beard.
I'm twice the man I was back then. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
In some ways.
That's pretty cool, though, man.
But you got, like I said, you got a big history in this town.
I know, Jimmy. A lot of people got their first guitars from you.
And I use the same line with them. I'm not taking the blame. My dad always, unlike most guys, you get a toy guitar for Christmas when you're 2, 3. Every year you get one that's a little better, and then finally when you're 8, you got one made out of wood. And
without the crank.
Sears, and my dad would always make this joke. He goes, if I'd only got you a plumber and a wrench, you could have done something. So, Then again, my dad was really cool because his other big philosophy thing was he'd tell me, it's like, son, you'll never be useless. You can always serve as a bad example.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for all you've done for the town, man. You really done some great stuff, and as a store owner, you guys influenced me. I remember when I first went up to Clifton, and you guys were still there. I was like, if I can do a little bit of what they're doing, it'd be cool. And
I was gonna see if you could bring in your sign. He still has his sign.
Yeah, send me a picture of it. We'll put it in the Buzzatron.
Put it down there. But
Yep. It's hanging in my garage.
I've bought so much from him and sold it back for like less than half price.
To me.
It's just amazing. Yeah.
I pretty much made a career out of selling things to William, and then having.
And then he got me a cab ride across the street to Sudsy.
You guys made a good living off of each other.
Yeah, we did. we had a good thing going, and then he went and retired. And
I didn't have any instruments left. So.
Once he ran out, because I wasn't buying any of the GG stuff. Like shine a black light on that stuff.
The black light shows all the stuff.
I'm not looking for cracks. I'm not looking for a refin here. No, this isn't overspray.
Yeah, it is.
In the normal manner. So anyway,
what are you going to grace us with today?
Well, I apparently I am the Fencepost turtle in this group. The
more GG references.
If you ever drive down the road and see a turtle sitting on a fence post, he doesn't belong there, and you have no idea how he got there. And
how he's gonna get off.
What the heck, just definitely, I'm a tad outclassed. Sitting around a bunch of real musicians.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
and
we're talking about you.
Yeah. Well, no. You may not know it, since he just co-hosts the show, but that young man can actually play the guitar.
I feel like remember Nick Clooney's show?
Yeah.
It's like, he had that record, songs my producer would never let me sing. Yeah. It's like, they don't let me play here, so.
I tried to get you play last show.
Yeah. You said I was scared, but I was.
I was too scared.
So anyway, I've been working on this song that I thought I would torture you guys with. So at first I need you to imagine a New Orleans second line type drum beat, not quite a Bo Diddley, but more New Orleans.
We can get that in a click track, can't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And, 2 iPhones together.
One set on rumba and one on mamba, and then and a third one on waltz, and we'll get there together. And one time I was opening for Rock and Dopsy, the toot toot guy. Don't you mess with my toot toot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so we were in the dressing room, and he goes, "Jimmy, what kind of songs you play?" And I said, "Well, there's only 2 kinds of songs. Songs that you sing to try to get laid, and then songs you play because you're complaining that you can't."
Because the drummer does.
And he just stopped for a minute and looked around at his band, and then just cracked up. And looks, grabs his guitar player and he goes, "I think the boy summed it up." And so
So which one is this?
Both.
This one's just a complaining about life song.
Okay. So the latter.
Yeah. So although there's not really a love component, it's just complaining. So it's a statement about the modern condition. I'm going to wax poetic here and hope that I talk enough to where they'll edit the song out, and just leave the.
Thank you, Jimmy. That was great.
Just leave the talking part, and I can start my, I can take over for Jimmy Fallon sometime soon. So anyway,
Jimmy F.
It's a little song called that I've been calling "Because I Can," and when I get my band back together in the same place, we'll finish it.
I've heard of that internet stuff, right? Send stuff to each other.
But I would be the only one who has an internet connection. The musicians that I hang with.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point.
I'm in 3 bands, and out of the 3, every single band has at least 2 people in the high risk group.
Better mine are in jail.
Which one's worse, jail or the high risk?
Either way, they ain't coming to practice.
I was gonna say either way, they're not showing up.
So I got this funky red guitar here, and I'm gonna try to play this song. So. Now to tell some more secondhand stories. So,
that was killer.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I thank you for having me here.
Dude, man, that was killer.
He was really worried.
Well, I don't blame him because if you check my resume, most of my good bands broke up a long time ago.
We've done some gigs together. I knew what was coming.
And all the bands that I'm famous for, well, actually, both of them had reunions last year in July. Matter of fact, I spent 4th of July last year up in Dayton doing a Highwaymen reunion that went really, really well. And it was hotter than blazes, almost as hot as it is in here. We played the Yellow Cab.
Yeah, well,
and,
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Their air conditioning was so bad that they opened up all the garage doors to help. And I was like, okay, it's gone from 98 to 99. And, thank you.
Well, when we talked about doing the show, I was thinking it might be cool to bring the red guitar.
Well, the red guitar is a cool guitar.
That was yours, right?
This is the story. He's the only person on the show that I bought a guitar from, except probably you. And that's an interesting story because Jimmy used to have a repair guy that worked for him named Dave Bodine.
Dave Bodine, one of Cincinnati's finest guitar peoples.
Yeah.
He did repairs over at Midwest, and then he did repairs for me. And he was an excellent luthier.
Yeah.
Is that a religion? Or is that what you're saying?
That's Lutheran.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
One day he walked in with his case, laid it on the countertop, and said, "Tell me what you think." And I pop it open, and it's there's this Rick 360 in there, and I'm smelling it, and I'm like, "What is this?" I'm thinking he did a refin because the thing this looks immaculate, it's beautiful. I'm looking at it, kind of smelling it, it's fresh, and I'm like, "Looks great. What am I looking at?" And he goes, "Well, you tell me. You like it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm I go, personally, I'm not a fan of these, but back in the '80s we did tour a little bit with REM, and I've played a few Ricks. They're not my thing." And he goes, "Well, I made that."
Yeah, I've seen that guitar.
And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, from a pile of wood and wire."
And that's how good he was.
Wow. And eventually he wound up giving that guitar to Karen Berquist.
Oh, okay.
Because she needed a better stage guitar because she had some weird stuff. But
so anyway, knowing that guitar came from Dave.
Dave and I would go to guitar shows together to hunt down guitars. I would restock the store, and he would just find something super cool. Mm-hmm. And the last show that we went to before he passed away, we both spotted this at the same time, and he wound up getting it, and went home with him, and then when he passed away, I bought it from his mother, from his estate, and I liked it. I'm a fan of juniors. I'm a fan of specials. I like the slab body Gibsons.
Yeah.
This one is weird because it's a 58. And you eagle-eyed guys, I see you looking at me, Noah, will realize that in 1958, they did not use that color red.
Right.
And they didn't use that color red on Les Pauls. That's a Firebird color.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And the story that we sussed out was that it went back to the factory about 63 to get refinished. And so I got it, played it, used it. And I'm not a fan of those 50s tiny frets, which, I don't know if you guys pass around, you can see what I'm talking about if you don't know. So I really like the guitar, but it wasn't working for me on stage because the frets are too small.
Yeah.
So there was a guitar show, and I took it to the show to see, mostly I took it to go show it to some friends of mine, including Mike, to ask their opinion about how much sacrilege I'd be committing if I pulled the frets out of a 58 and put modern size frets in. And so I pulled it out, showed it to Mike, and I said, how much do you think I'll devalue this if I put real frets in it? And instead of telling me, don't do that, do that, make it, because some guys, everybody's like, well, if you can't play it, it's useless. You just go ahead and make it yours. Other guys are like, you'll rot in hell if you take those frets out, and ruin a vintage guitar. Mike just said, I'll give you X amount of money right now.
Yeah. So anyway, I ended up with the guitar. So here's the deal. We both assumed it was either a factory refin, or honestly, when he told me he got it from Dave, I figured maybe it's not even real. Because he did so many things so well, and there was quite a few guitars that he put new necks on, and this should not exist. So anyway, I got the guitar. I love custom colored Gibson stuff. Just assuming that, And as time went on, I started looking at this guitar when I was like, man, this has to be a factory finish. And I'm looking at the serial number, and the serial number is dead on 50s numbers. Because when things are sent back, they usually have a slightly different serial number pattern. They never did it exactly the same. And it's this weird number. It is
8. then 1001.
1001. And I'm like, that's a weird.
And I remember that from when I owned it.
That's a weird number. It's
not 311.
Got to mean something. So anyway,
I did not use that as my password.
Pin number right there.
It's not a pin number. Don't anybody get crazy.
and over the years, that's been my thing is custom colored Gibson stuff. And I had actually a Sparkle Burgundy special. Yeah, and it was a sent back guitar, and it was probably painted in the '60s. Well, anyway, long story short, at some point Gibson was going to do some of my guitars, and I made a list of weird guitars I had. I have a Pelion Blue V and this guitar and a few others because I knew I was going there and they were going to let me look through the things,
The registers.
the registers. So I get there, and their registers are kind of a mess. A lot of things are missing. Some page are missing. Sometimes Gibson would do the same serial number on like 5 or 6 guitars. It makes no sense. But anyway, I found this guitar, and it actually is an original guitar from the 50s, and it says right next to the serial number, red.
Wow.
Special red. So this actually is.
So it's not a re.
No, it's not. It wasn't done in '63, which it was done actually then.
He was a little more than.
He already paid you. Don't get.
So when I die, get it back.
So you then put bigger frets on it.
I didn't find that out till a couple years ago, actually. So yeah. So this is one of my prize guitars. I got it from Jimmy. I got my first guitar from Jimmy and one of my prize guitars from Jimmy. Wow. So thank you very much, brother. And we're all going to miss you here.
For the record, that scratch was not on it when I sold it to him.
Yeah, well, it's me.
And he had to see if it was original finish. You know.
Now all those pock marks up on the top are from Scotty's jewelry.
Speaking of that, we're going to get to Scotty. We appreciate you so much, Jimmy. We love you, brother.
Yes.
Have fun
Thanks,
in Boston, man.
Well,
great song.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright.
Scotty! Yeah!
Yeah.
What a lead-in, too, man.
Yeah. That happens whenever he enters a room. That sounds. That's his little theme.
I've been working on my soap opera chords, as Tim Wilson used to. You're not sleeping with Bill, are you?
It's kind of like the end of the theme of it.
So you guys are a thing, huh?
The ending theme, man. The ending theme. Man. First of all, I didn't know what the hell I was playing. He does.
Well, before we get going, I need more coffee. Janelle, can we have some coffee?
Yeah.
What is this coffee we're drinking here today, Janelle?
Today's brew is by 319. They have plenty of different options. If you
Now, is that their address? You know, like, or
their age.
Oh, yeah.
It might be empty.
Oh, that's.
there it is.
Oh, there we go. That's good. Thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, well.
Get the crunchy part.
There's 319. What was the option you were going to say?
I said 319 has many options. It could be smooth and mild or rich and hearty, so they have a perfect blend.
Which one does he have?
I have the Hardy one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is.
Because none of us here are rich.
Rich and thick. I'm the thick part.
I finished mine.
Somebody stole my mug.
Uh-oh.
Cool.
There's one over
I
there.
think it's
Is that
over
you?
there.
Yeah.
That was probably Mike. No.
I got a new one out of the kitchen.
You said not to or everybody watch what mugs
Oh,
they have.
well, we'll mug you later, buddy. So, Scotty, what are you going to entertain us with today?
Man, I wrote this song a while back, and there's just been so much going on that I haven't had time to put another record out. I've been working on other records, been working with other bands, a lot of stuff going on right now. So I just pull this song out once in a while.
I'm really sorry to hear that you're busy.
I know, it's weird. Well, I'm in this project out in Nashville called the Desert City Ramblers, and we've charted on the Billboard indicators. We're in the top 30 right now. We've never played a gig.
Oh, that's
It's like
awesome.
I could do this for the rest of my life. No working out, no having to worry about what you look like on TV or on stage. You just sit at home. Say, oh yeah, no, we're in the top, whatever. We were in 40 for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then we broke the top 30. So
Do you have a bullet with it, though?
Plus, you're recently married, right?
well, so that was the other thing with
Yeah.
all this COVID stuff, man. And much like Noah, I never spend too much time at home in one place. And I got married.
So it's a
and-
successful marriage.
Yeah, well, I mean,
far.
for her, she gets the grass mowed and she gets the.
That's what the kids are calling it now.
But no, it's actually been a lot of it's been a lot of fun to kind of it was Jason Denny, matter of fact, sent me a message the other day and said, I gotta think there's a silver lining here somewhere in the fact that you just got married and you actually do get a lot of time to spend at home with your wife, and it really has been great. I mean, there was no weird like, okay, I'm married, now we have to go out on the road for 3 months, which I'm sure you did that. You know, you get married and then you were on the road for 3 months.
We'll have to check back in a few years and see how that actually works out.
You don't drive the van.
Not anymore.
Update 3 years from now.
But yeah, it's been pretty great, and so yeah, it's just kind of a blues thing. I figured, everybody else has been playing their great songs, and now it's my turn to do something. It won't be great, but you got all you guys, and then there's me over here.
That's kind of like a.
I showed up to scratch Mike's guitar, and I'm gonna play like this, Mike.
Okay, buddy.
But anyway.
Wow.
So you're really known for your click tracks.
It's
pretty good.
Yeah, it's all up here. It's the only thing up here.
How much do I owe you for that lesson?
As I say, people are gonna try to slow the YouTube thing down.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Wow, that's
Unbelievable.
Oh man, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Really
A lot
good.
of
There's
fun.
something about that blues shuffle, man. It just you can't help but tap your foot, and then you're like, man,
I never feel the blues though. I always like, wow, that's like, you know.
I could use some bourbon.
I tell you what, man, that was almost as good as it was at the show last week.
You guys played with Hamilton.
Yeah, right.
Now that show with Hamilton, was it the original Broadway cast?
Yeah, well, you know they're all unemployed now too.
The dancers, man, they were amazing. Yeah. I love that big blow-up doll like the Stones that you had, that big giant.
Oh yeah,
That was new.
yeah. But we made sure to give it the tattoos that Rosie has at the AC/DC show.
And Eddie, the 12-foot monster mascot.
But yeah, no, the blues shuffle thing for me, and I was born and raised a Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, and obviously Chris Layton, Noah knows better than anybody that Chris Layton is the best shuffle
He's
player.
the master of the
Yeah,
shuffle.
absolutely.
Nobody better, I don't think.
And so for guitar players, what a lot of guys don't think about is their right hand.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, because you can play that.
And plus, you got the weight of the, you know.
Well, that,
so it's like, you know,
yeah. But yeah, it's all about that.
You get that.
You know, so it's for me. I mean, that's how I grew up in a three-piece band. I didn't have a rhythm guitar player. I always played rhythm and lead at the same time, and then let the band guys do their thing. So
that's cool. You know, it's funny you mentioned Chris because I remember watching him up close. He's got such a light touch.
Yeah.
I was amazed by how light a touch he had.
He does.
Well, he needs one.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, now, did Indiana Jones get that amulet for you?
Well, see, that's
He was chased by a big ball down a like.
That's what it is. He's got the power in that.
Yeah. Now, is there a Wonder Twin that goes with that, or?
Well, he died. His wasn't as big.
There's four of them. If they all put their fists together, they turn into one creature, right? Like,
Yeah, that's cool, brother.
Voltron.
But yeah, man, well, it's
good.
a
Good
great
playing.
guitar. I mean, thank you. It's all the guitar.
Oh no, it's what you did with
Oh yeah, hand it to me.
that's not true. I was playing it earlier. It sounded nothing like that.
No, it's very cool, man. I mean, I'm a Les Paul guy. Grew up a Strat guy. Obviously, being a Stevie Ray fan, that's all I ever wanted was a Strat. And I'm sure when I was 9, 10, 11, I'm sure you saw me and my parents in your store a bunch looking at Strats.
Yeah, man.
And it was so funny because my dad he wanted me to get the Clapton Strat. Blackie. That's what he wanted. And of course I wanted the Stevie Ray Strat for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So I would go in and I would just do my best to wear out the Stevie Ray Strat. And he me the Clapton Strat. I just go,
I just can't play this.
Well, that's clapping.
yeah.
Slow hand.
He did a slow hand. Yeah.
Yeah, he only plays pentatonic.
So did you get it? Did you get the Stevie Ray?
I did. I got
Yeah,
it.
man.
I was in the 3rd grade, and that was my dad bought an Explorer for me. Bought a little crate G60 and I think an '89 Explorer together for $400.
All right.
And way
Not
back
for
in the
him.
day.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Maybe Jimmy D.
and a lot of kids, you would think, you know, oh cool, it's a pointy guitar, man, we're gonna play rock. It wasn't a Strat, so I mean, I played it, I learned to play it, but I wanted a Strat, and I wasn't gonna stop. So I was about 9 years old and started doing, you know, school talent shows and stuff. So my parents always set goals. You know, Pat, get this grade on this test, and we'll talk to you about the next guitar.
We'll get you a tune.
All right.
Yeah, well, so that came in about
Christmas.
the 4th grade, yeah. But so I went for years and years playing a Strat, and just got really into Gary Moore and stuff later
what a
on.
great
But
player,
the Les Paul Gary Moore, you
Sure,
know,
yeah.
the greeny stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know Gary Moore played that red Strat, and he played it to death, and it was great.
yeah.
But there's something about a Les Paul. So you start getting into Warren Haynes and Government Mule and Gary
Did
Moore.
you turn your pickup around?
I did not. I did not, because I never used that pickup. That's the off switch to me.
But it still looks like.
Yeah, but no. I bought a flame top off of eBay that I didn't know anything about the guitar. I just I paid more than I should have for
Liked the way it looked.
because the top on it was so
Sure, yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And I was 18, 19 years old, and I mean it was real and it had a killer top. So I went. I want to sit here for 3 days and watch this eBay thing, and I wound up getting it and changed everything. So I've been a Les Paul guy ever since.
Oh, that's cool, man.
And of course, when I play with Noah, I do a lot more Strat stuff because I don't have to. You work when you play a Strat, so your Strats make you work a little harder.
Do you think like recording is best with a Strat and then playing live is good with a Les Paul?
I try and record with whatever I'm going to play it live with.
Okay.
Because we kind of record live. I mean, it's one of those things where with 3 guys in the band, I don't want to layer too much and then get out to the show and it's like, hey, we're the horn section.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, but when he's out in front of the band and we're doing shows together, I always bring out a Strat because I can focus on working on that. Mm-hmm. And so, but when I'm doing my thing, it's always, the Les Paul, just like just like that song. You just kind of just stroll in the park and worry about the singing.
I've always like playing a Strat for a while, and then you go to a Les Paul. It's like,
It's like swinging two.
Hold me back.
Well, especially when you run Strats with big strings,
Right,
like I've always done too. I don't use big strings on Les Pauls like I do Strats. They're not.
What do you use?
I'm using on the Strats. I'm using 11 to 56.
Oh my God.
And Les Pauls I'll run 10 to 54.
Yeah.
52, 54, something like that. Tune standard. But
That's
the Strats
heavy
are
for a
always
Strat, I think, though. Usually, my
fingers always use heavy too.
My rule of thumb is going to 9s for a Strat.
Well,
I
I
don't
got the
have much
scale
power.
length difference too.
Right, yeah.
So you could put a little bit heavier string on a
Right.
Strat because they're a little more slinky because the scale length is longer. So
They always sound better with heavier strings. I think Fenders do.
they're a lot thicker.
Well, I think that guitar looks really good on you, and you made it sound really good.
Well-
So, what is it?
I appreciate that. I was thinking this is probably my favorite custom that I've ever played. The weight's perfect. The neck is perfect.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of customs that just weigh a ton.
Yeah, man.
And they get hard to play after a while. I was talking about that gold top that I've got with all the stuff on it, and it is.
This one looks like the one Keith Richards played on Ed Sullivan.
Yeah. Well, I was saying we'll take it out back, and I'm going to paint on it like he did too. Tonight.
Yeah. Let me see it for 1 second.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a really rare guitar. It is is that an 8 or a 7?
8.
It's an 8. It's a 58. And I was talking about how sometimes they put plugs in and this was originally, they put this Bigsby on a guitar that would have had the stop holes already. So somebody ordered it like this, and then they put little pearl dots in there, which is kind of cool. You see that on bursts and different things.
Yeah.
And if you pop these out, they're actually, the grommets are in there. So that's cool. I bought this from the original owner at one of the Dallas shows.
Okay.
He walked in with it. It's got the hang tags. It's really rare because it's an original 2 pickup. Because as you were saying, like Keith's guitar and
Jimmy
Page's guitar, there are 3 pickups.
Peter Frampton?
Right,
Peter
yeah.
But his
Frampton.
was earlier, though. I guess his never came with humbuckers.
Oh, don't ask him that.
It's a long story.
I got this friend who knows a lot about Peter Frampton's guitar.
Yeah.
But anyway, so somebody ordered it with two pickups, which is, I think, a better idea. I never liked the 3 pickup ones because
Unless they smoke. Right?
when you use the 3 pickup ones, it's neck, these 2 on at the
Right.
same time, and then just that.
I had a funky thing I found, and I went to Gibson and had them fix that for me because
You made these 2 be on.
even better. Even better. I'm going to surprise you. Because what I was running into is when I had it on the back pickup and I tried to run the middle pickup, it went out of phase and it dropped. just
Some of them
crazy.
were factory out of phase.
So what I did is I've got it wired exactly like your guitar is wired right here, but I put a volume knob potentiometer in the switch to run only the middle pickup.
Well, that's the Mickey Baker configuration.
Okay.
Close to a Mickey Baker.
Because I know the Frampton thing had 3 knobs and a master tone, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Mickey's is 3 volumes and 1 master
So
tone.
I've got 3 volumes and 2 master tones. So
that's cool.
the one in the middle one runs wide open all the time.
So it's one beta.
So anyway,
Well, it's something.
this
It's
is a really
it's
rare
heavy.
guitar, and appreciate you playing it. And you didn't even scratch it up, man.
I didn't. Give it back.
It's light too for a
That's the
custom.
thing.
It
'cause
weighs nothing.
My gold
you know?
top with the 3 pickups and a bit, it's a little over 11 pounds. And I've kind of run a narrow strap on that guitar, and 11 pounds on something the size of a quarter right on your collar.
Oh, yeah.
It's rough. But that guitar, the weight on that is just amazing.
Yeah. you know, it made it even more amazing that you played that on the original Fretless Wonder frets. Because, I mean, that guitar has really almost no frets.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. You know.
Well, give me another half hour. We won't have any finish.
Well, you sounded great on it,
Thank
brother.
you, man.
Yeah,
That's
when we were getting started, you were doing some Stone stuff, and it sounded killer.
Well, yeah, you put on a black custom with a Bixby.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have to pay more? Was that ASCAP?
No, it's. You know, I was going to ask you, Noah, you mentioned Warren Haynes. Didn't you guys do some singing together on something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
Yeah, I met him years ago the first time when we were living in Austin and recording. He came over. Yeah, and we do some duets on one of our records.
That's pretty neat.
Hole in the Wall. Did you play Hole in the Wall?
So, Scotty, tell us about upcoming albums and what you got going on, man.
Well, this Desert City Ramblers thing has really done well despite this whole pandemic we've been dealing with. And I'm really excited about that. About it, maybe 2 years ago. No, it was a year and a half ago. I auditioned for Hank Jr.'s band. And obviously didn't get the gig, but one of my dear, dear friends did. And so right after he got the gig, we stayed in contact through the whole thing. And he goes, man, I think I got this opportunity that we might be able to do and be in a band together. So we started playing with these Desert City Ramblers guys. Before they ever had a band, the record was pretty much in the bag. So we just kind of walked in, learned the stuff, and made it our own. And then, you know, with my band, we've got a lot of things in the works that I don't want to say too much, because if it doesn't happen, then I want to be on here going, well, y'all look for this, and then
I understand.
What happened? It's been 3 years.
Right.
You check in 3 years.
Whole back catalog.
Like, well, he's still mowing grass, but I haven't seen a record yet. But
so you said it with a lot of people. You do a lot of tours. You did the Nelsons too, right? They were in here and they brought you up, man.
Yeah,
Scotty.
I did that for about 3 years. Lived in Nashville, and then before that, I was on the road with a comedian named Tim Wilson, who's the Cincinnati guys will know Bob and Tom. Tim Wilson all the time. So he became like a godfather. I mean, we were as close as two humans could really be. And we both kind of swore that if either of us ever ran for office, the other one would have to be assassinated because they knew too much. And so I did that for 3 years and lived in Nashville the first time. Came home for a couple years, and then went back to Nashville for 3 more years. Kind of started focusing again on my own thing, came back home, got married, and now I've got another band in Nashville. So it's like they can't really get rid of me for very long. I know. But
and how many bands in Hamilton?
You know, I've never even had a band member from Hamilton in my band. It's like the one place. We need to check that out.
Well, that's why you are the way you are.
No, there was a cool place called Little Chicago Blues Company in Hamilton, right around like 2005 to about 2008, and they featured a lot of the Piedmont acts. You know, so we were doing the guys that you played with, Bob Margolin and Eddie Clearwater and Michael Burks. And just all these great blues artists, and we were the house band there, so we opened for every band that came through there.
That's cool, man.
And that's really when I started seeing those bands.
That'll get you tight, man.
I learned how to put on a show.
Yeah.
I was no longer able to just be a guitar player on stage. I had to have something that would interest people that had never heard of me.
Do you do balloon animals?
Yes, we do. You know, Ace Frehley had the smoking guitar, and that's fine. But I never saw him make a giraffe.
It's a puppy.
But that's I absolutely learned how to use the stage and put on a show, and it just changed everything.
Well, you guys are always killer, man. I
appreciate that. I appreciate it. We're loud. I mean, you know, if I can't take credit for anything else, we're loud. No. Well, who was it said? It might have been, I can't remember, somebody that we played with, but said what we lack in talent, we make up for in sheer volume.
So who's louder, Kenny or him?
You make up for in jewelry.
Really? Scotty's louder?
Well, now.
Maybe when he was younger.
I never ran 3 twins on stage.
Well, that's
Or 2 is headphones.
Well, guys, I tell you what, man, I've had a blast.
This is
It's
a great
an absolute
one.
joy
Yeah.
having you guys on the show.
Man, thanks a lot.
And thank you all very much. Noah, thanks for coming.
My pleasure.
I know you got some babies to get home, too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming.
Mike, thanks for
Appreciate
having me,
it.
man.
Can't
Thank
wait
you.
to hear the new stuff coming out,
it's
man.
gonna be good.
Jimmy, you got to be in touch about the turtle. So
Yeah.
Got to get him off that post.
Yeah, let us know what's going on in Boston, man.
Yeah.
You guys are way too much talent for me to be sitting.
Well,
in
you
the
know,
room.
the cars are, they're minus a couple people, so maybe you can get in with them.
Well,
There you go.
That's true.
Doesn't one of them still owe you money?
Yeah.
For a car.
Chase him down for me.
No, hush you down.
Scotty, that show was killer. Can't wait to hear you again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you all for coming. Janelle, I'm so glad you're feeling better and you're back with us. Thank you
Thanks
for the
for the-
wonderful
Thanks for the coffee, Jim.
And 319, man.
Yeah,
You know.
and the crew, thanks to the crew,
Yeah.
Wayne Littner, Elton Clifton, Rachel Foxworthy, Jason Roll. Thank you all. We
See you,
love
Wade.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Rock on. Coffee up! Coffee up! Woo! Yeah!
I know you wanted to give up and end your pain. But one heart needs the other to be safe and whole and sane.